right, folks, let's get right to it on a Thursday. Just nothing but issues for me this morning. A whole bunch of tech issues, whatever. So sorry for the delay, but let's just get to it. Let's do a quick update. Yeah, not even on the Streamlabs this morning. But let's just blow through the big major markets, the major levels. Here's NASDAQ on the 1 hour. Hitting target one this morning, actually blowing right through. 19,352 was the target one all along. So now what? Let's look for the dot because we have a confirmation up here. This could be the end of the reaction on the bigger scale of things from essentially what, 10 days ago. Let's keep an eye on that. What's going on, chat? Howdy. Welcome back, right? Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it. Great to see everybody back here today. Yes. What's up, Daniel, David, Alex, Red, APV, Rogelio, William. Guys, what's going on? Ladies, gentlemen, welcome. Harmonic Pattern Podcast number 338. We are here on Tuesday, Thursday, roughly 12 noon, usually 12:30. And get on over to harmonictrader.com. Become a free member. And if anybody wants to go to the webinar on Wednesday, we're going to try to look at some crypto and start to buy these non-cemetery, non-dead T-coins for a supposed cycle that should have been gone already. Get your TradingView Harmonic Pattern Collection. Send it to HPC at SR-Analyst. Send your username. 2-week trial. We'll give away a 60-day today. Somebody that's new, please. We'll do something. 1 second. Boy, I tell you. It's been slow to get back. Really slow. Tried to do some things in the last day and just having some issues, tech issues, trying to get my main, almost lost my main setup. Whatever. Listen, this is the big deal. There's NASDAQ right now, all the way back in the zone, and probably even more clearly the SPY, which was a 444 retest minimum, now 544, now 552 with the crab pattern. What are we lacking? Confirmation. Pretty remarkable. You're getting overbought now. Maybe we back to the hop and then get confirmation. We're back in the zone for the T2. That's been the deal all along. So what about the rest of it? Like what happened last week, 2 weeks ago? Is that over for now? It was a type 1 reaction. That's it. And I still would love to see this pattern hold in and then give us the 2 all the way back down. Look, that's still in play for now. The type 2, we got to get confirmation on that, but SPY is there. So let's see what happens. If we blow through here, no confirmation, the only other thing to test is like 560 again. But the thing that's interesting, and it literally won't be official till the end of the week, is we got to counter HSI on the weekly. We not down to T1, but right there, was that it? It's fairly remarkable. On the weekly, that all happened in about 3 candles, all the way down, get oversold. That's just where we are. I would think some kind of at least a retest in this area. Not a total blow off. Remarkable action the last 10 days, 15 days. Couple more. The QQQ is like this. And we'll jump to Bitcoin in a minute, but 473. We were 420 what, 10 sessions ago? 9 sessions ago. It was a fill the gap. Here you go. Overbought. But we're probably 2 days away from inflecting out on HSI. So a lot to talk about, a lot to get into. I think probably the story stock of the day is Walmart doing insane things. I mean, insane things. That's you go to the weekly here on Walmart, and you have a really two kind of tails going on. The daily is certainly popped up trying to reach overbought, but I have to say unusual things are happening here. The yellow dot on the daily at 67.67 very well could be a massive continuation point for Walmart going forward. That's bullish for the market. I'm impressed with that Walmart announcement, earnings. And it's, you know, scooping lows there, and then another continuation low here, and it's just nonstop, and I keep going. My goodness, what the monthly chart looks like. You are way out of that channel. We talked about that last time. It's damn impressive. It is, you know, it's something where, yes, bigger things are going on. I personally like Costco more. And Costco had that shark. Oh, look at shark. Look, somewhat shark. Weekly's there. Look at the shark here. I think Costco is going to do the breakout move. There's, you know, it spent 1 day down there with a shark. Those are tough, but Costco, why not? Just keep on keeping on. Is this it? Was that a one and done for that? A couple other kind of notable things that seem to be starting to come out of their doldrums. Cisco. Okay, just holding on to this as a long-term swing position. We've been in this for a few months. Here at 40, sort of 48, 47-ish. Where's the levels? It is a it's a crab here. It had a bat. I had a bat pattern on there. 1 second. Let me see if I can bring that back. And I've not been concerned about this one either. Let me take that off. Where's the crab? There you go. Take the crab off. There should get that bat. It's a deep crab, huh? Yes, it is. That should bring up the bat. I'm on. Sorry, guys. I'm kind of scrambling today on this, trying to fix things. So that's not sure that why that's not coming up, but that was the deal. It was the number was 47 on Cisco. I like it. It's a big thing. We should be looking at these as an area where the long-term continuation. I'm not even thinking anything but, you know, eventual new highs for things like Cisco. And then probably a few new ones like, well, there's Dell doing a big bat right off the top. So, you know, you got a few things to be looking at. Probably the other one that has my attention is Tesla. Okay, now 214. A big drop down at 183. But look at the other ancillary vehicles like the Granite shares too long. There you go. That's interesting. Okay. And this only moves when Tesla moves. So that is a type 2. I think the weekly was better on this. Yeah, did we get there? We almost got perfectly to the XA level. That's a directional move. So if that's going to set up as a type 2, that means Tesla's ready to rock. There's the 1.25 long on Tesla, the TSL. These only move when Tesla is running, and that's kind of what it's suggesting. Tesla's ready for something bigger. Yeah. Couple others that are interesting. Where's Taiwan Semi? Where'd that go? Yeah, see, these are doing, we got to look at SMH. SMH and SOX. So the semiconductors are doing unusual price action. That's unusual price action, guys. Yeah, a massive capitulation, drop down, bullish, and I wouldn't say exactly engulfing, doesn't totally engulf, but that's a big throwdown response move. And I think you could go to SMH. I mean, was that the throwdown reaction? Because SMH is printing another continuation on the weekly this week. There's the daily. And it came back, it clipped that bat. It clipped that bat at 198. Now 245. This should be interesting. It'll be an interesting few weeks. A couple other things to look at. Folks, Meta is nonstop. Meta's up here. Now we have a really interesting bat pattern, but is this going to now fail? Because it did the 1-2. It did what it needs to do. So if it's going to crack above this 547 level, consider the 1, T1, T1 dollar, T2. That's it. It did what it had to do, the 1-2. And then the weekly is remarkable. So if we just shut our eyes or, close our ears, turn off our brains, I guess, just look at the signals. That's a high level continuation with a dot, almost perfect. That probably takes this well above new highs. It's impressive action. And don't forget, we're only at the 127, monthly 127, where we really want to be targeting minimum, I think 1618, which is like 570, 575. With this kind of stuff too, it's really taken off. I would say even the weekly close above 535 is a 3-bar breakout. This is happening pretty quickly. What's up? Yeah, let's take a peek at Apple. Apple, Amazon. Geez, ASML. Here's Apple. 285. Yeah, I'll tell you, that throwdown stuff is just remarkable. That was it. Dailies like this, up 5 days in a row since the dot. So I would say come on back, retest the 886, retest, fill that gap. Here's something interesting. Airbnb, been kind of peeking at that on the daily. Top level 113 with a dot. Is that a type 1 to go back to 140? Yeah. Yeah, the 3-bar breakout was 2 days ago. So, I've been looking at this. This might be the best opportunity in a while on this kind of a thing. Where is it? Oh, here we go. Come on. Get on the right. Get set up here. Is it like this? Something like that? I like that one. The better one's Uber. And boy, is there an Uber's a high level dot here. Uber could do things, folks, off of this, and not to mention you had a couple of back-to-back pattern formations here around 60, shark, bat. I'm looking for this thing to absolutely break out there. If we clear this 75 level, it just you go and you continue, which is probably the call for a lot of these. Looking at these to do bigger things, like monthly, where Uber just continues to go higher. Yeah. I think Uber's got something in store here. Couple more. One new one, or one we talked about, Adobe, which came in for a type 2. They're off the shark on the daily. Look at that. 514 was 10 days ago. And now up hard. Amazon's probably the one where I'm gonna look at this shark to 5.0 and 176. Would love to get a type 2 on something like that. And remember, the weekly is like this, but here we go again. Again, the challenge, we get a reaction, you throw it down, but you don't get to the target. Usually manifested, the end of the reactions usually triggered by something like a counter HSI, which is what's going on here. So heck of a throwdown last week, and that might have been it. That might have been it. Google getting beat up by the feds, probably a buy. Yeah, look, weekly is, it's probably the only one where, hold on, that was not what I wanted to do. The weekly HSI deep oversold. We're looking for that to pivot out. Meanwhile, daily looks like this. Okay, you got a dot not too long ago. Not much, nothing structurally. Not like what you saw on Meta. Anything on the 4-hour? No. A little overdone to the downside. Really quick, we got to take a peek at the diamonds, the industrials. Back above 40K here. And it was a Gartley. It was a Gartley at the low, 387. Now 404, what do we do? Because the week, that's the 4-hour. There's the daily. And probably begging for the shark retest. Industrials look like this. Hold on. There you go. Just to get a gander of the index itself. Same patterns, same structure. No surprise, but probably come on back up. 4130, another 1,000 to retest that crab pattern. They tried to throw it down. I mean, it was right off that 1618 inflection for SPY, and there's the weekly. You know, this is interesting to me. I think we still are going to have to come up, but another crab pattern. That's interesting on the diamonds, industrials. But, you know, you've got to check that back. And here we go. Okay, I wanted to focus on HSI today. I just had too many issues with, spent about 3 hours trying to get my main computer set up after some kind of freeze lock. Let's do that Tuesday. I'll talk in detail about HSI, but this is an important kind of consideration where you're assessing any pattern and we have a T1 and it has a reaction, which is usually the response, like your levels are right, you're there with confirmation, you should see immediate response, but then the reaction, that's your job to gauge that. If it's a throwdown where we go from overbought to oversold pretty quickly, that's usually about it. And here we are back. This would be after that first move. This is probably the second area where HSI is going to come in. That's 41K. Yeah, there's a deep crab in Google, 194. We can go back and retest that though. Yep. No, there's other recovery going on right now. It's people chasing this stuff after getting thrown down. You know, it's impressive. I don't know. Not sure how high this will go. Some of these look like they're ready to go now. Others probably need a little more time, but I think, there are opportunities here. Guys, let's go to Bitcoin. I really want to get this as just some quick update today. Here's Bitcoin. Where's the opportunity? Bitcoin sitting right here in this check back area. 61,000 is still, that's still the big measured support. I think it's 60,700, 60,800. What I really want to see, like the possibility for Bitcoin to do something is HSI has to get above the 50 level. Minimum. I want to see HSI get back above into that zone, much like we did here. Okay, you have to go back to September of last year. And even on the secondary move here, where you had that continuation move in February, okay, because once we went under that 50 level come March, that explains why we're not doing anything. We need to get back up into this zone. It's if the 50 level can carry us where we get a turn up and acceleration, then you've got the possibility to do more. It explains a whole bunch of what's going on here currently with all of crypto. And the rest of it looks like garbage. Let's go to this. Here's Shark to 5.0. There's our Shark. Okay, 45,703 is, I'm going to say it, that would be my launch pad. The Shark to 5.0, if we had a kiss of the 45.7, then I would say, okay, structurally, harmonic stuff, then that satisfies the resistance from here. Is it a counter HSI and we continue to go back up? As soon as we crack the 50 level, I will consider that. But you can go through the chart, take a look at how essential the 50 line is. Whether you're crossing something down or you're going back up, that's where the continuation typically happens. There, go to 50, back up to overbought. Here, it's just flatlining at the 50 level. That could turn up, but we need a little more time. It would need to do something like that. That's weekly. What about daily? Because it's, we are sitting here on the daily level. We got oversold. I would just wait for and suspect that we could retest. That's about 54, 55 area to trigger another dot. Sure. Yeah, we can look at SUI. What's up, Daniel? Yeah, I didn't go through IWM. Let me circle back on that before we get out of here. No, not yet. I'm just kind of doing a quick update today. Just get caught up. I really had a very frustrating issue where it just it took me out all morning. Totally, it cost me my morning today. So I just want to do a run through. But that's the deal on Bitcoin. You got to wait. And we've been waiting since June. But I think stuff like the T-Coin allocation, we'll talk about that on Wednesday. Even let's go to some of the bigger stuff like Binance Coin. Sure, we can look at SUI. Here's Binance Coin. Got a daily dot. Can we retest that around 503? Because that Shark to 5.0 was perfect. And we'll be looking on this. There's the Shark to 5.0. And that very well could be something that happens for BTC. Maybe we have a retest of that week. Binance Coin's not ready yet. And we'll know. I mean, guys, when you pull up the software, you have HSI up, that's where acceleration can happen. In the same way, On the downside, look, that's the point where we start thinking some kind of correction, retracement, pullback, which is not here on the initial test, but it's many weeks later. This will be key. Couple more. Have to peek at Ethereum. That nonsense. Because I think Solana looks like it just wants to destroy Ethereum. It just, from the chart, Solana looks like Ethereum. It's the outperformance is insanity. And Ethereum is not, there's nothing there yet. I mean, I'm not really, let me remove all the lines here. Got nothing here on Ethereum. The daily, we said that before, was a failed bat pattern. Where's my bat? My bat was at 29. There you go. Oh, this kind of, well, there's a bigger bat. The bat we were looking at was right off the top, 29.50 to 26.50. That failed. And I would think even something like this, just be ready, guys. Big bat pattern. It's not the cleanest. Let's just say that way, because when the software algorithms for a bigger structure are starting to pull off of here, it really should be off of there. But how do we stay out of that mess? You need confirmation. So even if you were looking at that structure, we don't trigger until we have confirmation. Dare I say another dot? And that would require a retest. I'll talk about that on Tuesday. I wanted to go through the dynamics of HSI today. I just couldn't, because of the problems I had. But structurally, it's a T1. T1 went on off of that, but we have to retest. I think go back to 2K. Ethereum, probably one of the biggest disappointments of this cycle, with its inability to really do much. Not like Solana, which looks like this. There's Solana, 145. Look, the dot trigger at 130 is critical. We're building and building. I do think Solana is something where that once the cycle opens up, okay, it would be like this. It's still XA to a 786 BC to a 127 at 325 overspill 141 360. 325 to 360. That's by the end of January. By the end of January. I kind of like that was a shakeout. Couple more. What do you guys want to, who said that? Oh, SUI. All right, shill it. Shill away. SUI. Wasn't that? Here you go. That was a full reset. With this, we need type 2s. SUI is a full reset. What is a full reset? It does a cycle all the way up, come all the way back to the 886 and start again. But do the 1 and 2. We have a counter HSI that triggered 2 days ago. So yeah, I don't, that's not over. Let's look at a couple other feeds. It's probably like 67, maybe as low as like 54. Because I'm just demanding the type 2s. I am, if I don't have a type 2 and I don't have a weekly oversold, I'm not touching it. I mean, Solana is the example of that, where we're type 2. Look, weekly oversold, daily type 2. There's the weekly oversold. They all should have that kind of dynamic. What's the assumption here? That weekly is a continuation signal at 130 and is confirmed by the retest, successful retest of the bat pattern at 116. It was perfect. Again, Binance feed, probably the biggest feed for that, on the exchanges. But that's the formula. Some of the ones that, the main ones that I've been eyeing up, like Ethereum Classic, Akash Network, some of the others, like here's Ethereum a Classic. Okay, daily is a big pattern. Weekly is probably even better with a back-to-back. Oh, I don't know why that went away. Why'd you go away? There you go, back-to-back. Why is that disappearing on me? You guys see that, right? Hold on. It's a bat, and there was a butterfly before there. There's the butterfly, and there's the bat. All of that's $18. Yeah, that bat is 16. A dot, everything's there. I would say it's more like 16 than it's 14 to 16 than 18 to 20. But there's the first confirmation. We'll talk about that Wednesday. I'm not in on it. Not yet. I mean, I have a little bit of that, but I mean, to size up, no. No, I haven't sized anything new in a few months. The where's Akash Network? Back at 260. So this is more like, I need Binance feed here. There you go. So it's a type 2 at 211. Okay. You have confirmation. It made progress pre-halving cycle. And now look at the weekly. What's that? Crypto.com. That's okay. Again, the other thought is that your weekly is holding in here. It's at first we were saying 3 to 4, and then we switched that 2 to 3, but that has the kind of stuff we want to look for on these non-cemetery, non-dead crypto. And it's not even 100% that that's not dead. And I draw your attention to Fetch AI. Because Fet's like this. Where'd you go? A lot of people want to jump on that. I don't think it's ready. Okay, there's a big bat around 78, maybe 80 area. And you guys know how I've been on this. And then I think the possibility of even a deeper test could come in here. You really need, this is one where, because a lot of people are saying, those AI coins, they're looking like a full reset. Maybe there's another chance for the cycle. Can we get this green week and one more green week? It's just not ready to go yet, because it's like this. Like if we have some dots, I'm just kind of on the fly here, where you have HSI, or let's say you're looking at FET a year ago and ran to 80. We had a bunch of things at 20 cents, okay? But on the weekly, there's your first signal. And then yellow dot comes 6 weeks later. We need to see some green. In the same way, the green, the development after those signals is just initial price action that leads to greater things. But you need some 1, 2 green weeks, green candles. That's where you are here. You're not even one green candle post the HSI trigger. HSI, the arrow, always early. So give me 2 weeks. All of those. A bunch of people have been asking, like, what about that one or Ocean? Because Ocean was another one. It was Fetch and AGIX and Ocean were the 3 that we caught last year. Looks like this. Okay. Shark pattern all the way back down there. You're 36 cents. And then we had this last year. Okay. Where's my weekly? Probably need a better feed. Where's Binance? Ocean, Binance US, that's fine. Hold on. That's not right. Regardless, Ocean on the daily, I'm not ready for it yet. AGIX, it looks like that. Maybe that's the one I had the better patterns. But go back to a year ago. Please, I invite you guys to go back a year ago and look at the things we were saying, especially in September, October, and in early November too. AGIX is gone. That's right, because they did the, hold on, let me see if they still, singularity.net. That's what it was. AGIX was that Gartley a year ago. Okay? That's what it was. That was 17. But look at the extended development, and you completed the pattern in June, and then you did not even move off of that XA level till October. That's usually not what we want to look at, but it's a good example of also how the software operates, where, okay, there's the XA level. It goes from 1780 up to 27. You probably kick yourself. But look, counter dot. And then finally HSI comes in. That's the delayed confirmation, but that's why we do that strategy. If you have a level with the pattern, yes, it's a start, but it's not an opportunity. The T1 with a dot and HSI checking back, everything you want to see, that's where you get the development and can expect things to go. I mean, AGIX, that went from 2 to what was the top there? It was like 140. Nice 7x. Right now, I have nada. And you know what? Maybe this would even end up being that looping retest at 18 cents, 1780. That's not out of the realm of possibility. So do you see anything there? No. So it's a no-go. I'm not touching it. It's like Cardano, guys. Okay, Cardano, massive. Did we get, what was that? Coinbase got to 20? Boy, I really was out of it last week. Yeah. What was the low on that? That was 27.7 cents. And we were thinking maybe back to 25. It almost did it. This is a full reset as well. Cardano, again, put it in the cemetery. Cardano, it just, I know there's people that for some reason are super fanboys, but look, it was a perfect 886 at 30 cents. But it's a dead crypto. Go to the monthly chart. If this was a stock, I would say, you're a low floater here. Like that. I mean, that's your monthly chart. Okay, if that was any stock, again, based on the price action, that is not an opportunity. That is not. There's nothing there for me. There's just hope. There's hope in what's his face, Hoskinson or whatever. Yeah, I mean it's so different than what we're seeing in stock market, which is trending down, up, down, up, down like that. This is at least Bitcoin, Binance Coin, and some of those others are well above all-time lows. They're much closer all-time highs. Why am I not using Harmonic in the short-term time frame? Because we're trying to ID in terms of crypto where the weekly, daily signals come together. Those the weekly signals where they come together are a starting point for whatever this next move is going to be, and I'm probably more picky now than I was 6 months ago, thinking that I don't think they're all of these coins are going to have much of a cycle. Maybe they pop to a 382, but we have a lot of dead crypto. And so to use short-term whatever when these are sideways to down, unless it's Bitcoin, is a waste of time. Avalanche, $20, waste of time. Waste of time on an Avalanche. And you know, we were looking at 28 long ago, waiting for that retest, and it came all the way back down to 22. We were looking for this. Okay, but that kind of chart, that's not a trending market, and that's the way I'd like to think about it. Is your crypto trending? Has it held up? Did it make progress pre-halving? And are you trending to price discovery? That's a no on Avalanche. Now, does it have a weekly? Oversold? Yes. And that's around 26, 25. Does it have a type 2 pattern? Yeah, it's kind of ugly. But trending wise, no, I'm not a fan. It's not really where it should be. We honestly should have hit that 28 level. We should have been like this. There, then back down to like 28 and then go. This little structural initial test and then failure is a problem for me. Yes, the hop level at 22. That's your last ditch, but this day has to be the exact low. That's it for Avalanche. You fail 17, 18, or even fail 3-day support, it goes all the way back to the lows. That's the problem with crypto. There's so many of these that are like that. Here's one that I haven't looked at this in forever and a day. Cosmos. Okay, we were looking at Cosmos to come all the way back to like $9. This is earlier in the year. Did a big bounce, but look, no need to look at intraday when your daily, weekly continues to go thrust up, down, thrust up, make a higher low, or excuse me, lower high, and then another bat. You want to trade that and take a whack at that for a couple of bucks? That's about it. That's not what we're trying to do with crypto. With crypto, we're trying to catch the next wave. If that's Bitcoin, Ethereum, what have you. And where this is relative to the entire market, look, the weekly on something like Cosmos, and that was a big winner. Big winner. You're right back at 2020 lows. I don't want to mess with this kind of stuff. There's a shark here. Maybe you get a dot, but why? I would say the best you could do on the cycle is go shark to 5.0. But that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for massive price discovery like Bitcoin 102,500. Excuse me, 102,500. Here's one or two that are trending that I find interesting. Haven't done anything with it, but where's Caspa? Holding here, 17, guys. Okay, I'm not in on this at all. But that's something where you're riding a hard uptrend. Now, I think we could come back on Caspa, actually get to 10 or 11, retest that pattern because we're 2 of 2. Even though that's holding up, I still think that's your ideal test point, retest point. But look at that thing. You know, that's what a lot of crypto should be doing. And even if they're going to have 30, 40% pullbacks, I mean, this was almost 50 high to low, 20 back to 12. That was a 40% correction, but it should be maintaining that. Can you draw that on your crypto? If you cannot draw that kind of a trend line going back a year and your crypto looks like this, okay, chances are you're going to be in there a while. What's up, Vince? Vince wants to look at Doge. And Doge is an in-between. Doge is like this, hovering 10 cents. Needs a dot. Weekly. Okay, the daily came down like this. Another situation where big bat pattern. You did the 886 bounce to 14, then smack it. I think you're looking under 9.5. probably back to 9. You would need to see a dot in here. This is, again, what's draw the arrow. Draw the arrow for the last year. It's down. Caspa's like this. And I don't know how many are doing this. How many are on an uptrend? I mean, Bitcoin, I can do that. Caspa. Can't really even do that for too many of these. Here's something we looked at a while ago, H-bar. I mean, come on. Some kind of news. This was something I was looking at for a type 2 back at 7.5. It went to 4.5. And you're all the way back. And this is one people talk a lot about. And I don't know. That's not a trending situation. A huge move up and then looks like a rug pull scam. And then I have to draw my attention back to XRP. We talked about that last week. Same thing. No continuation after that big news. Okay, they get off of $2 billion of fines. Where's the harmonic opportunity, folks? It's going to have to be a retest. It's back under 50 cents. Maybe 45. It's not here. It's back here. And go to the weekly time frame. I would even think we got to retest that HSI. And that too is like 40 cents. At least this has managed to hold some lows. Yeah, and no matter what the deal is with Gensler suppressing, we could draw it two ways. We could say this too. We could stay still down, but at least that's broken out of whatever that down move was. So you go here. Get what I'm saying? We need to find those that have progressed. A couple more. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Mitch? How are you? Mitch Ray in the house. What's going on, Mitch? Did you hold down the fort here in Miami? Hope all is well with you. Let's get together. Need a steak. We need a steak. Okay? Let's go get a steak before the tourists show up. What's up, Pete? I hear you. Crypto headache. Avoid the cemetery. Avoid the cemetery, please. Avoid the crypto cemetery. Be super picky on this. How about Zcash? We talked about that last week. Is this a pump and a dump? Looks like it was trying to start something here, but I'm not just there yet on fireworks. There's the daily. I mean, it is interesting that that thing doubled off the July low, almost tripled. That was 16 and that's 45. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. Look, there are a lot of these that are in the crypto wasteland. It is a lot of the stuff that should be running didn't. Here's Celestia. We talked about that last time. And I said this has to come back for a retest again on the daily. Lots of patterns converging at 435. Call it $4 because even that XA is a little bit lower. But go on the weekly. What is that? That's a Mitch special of what he would say, straight up, straight down. And that's what happened there. Here's where they brought it onto those big exchanges. And then the players that be come in and pump it for that 3 months. And then you're right back down, full reset. You can't go on those. I mean, there's not opportunity on something like that unless we break out. Bitcoin's at, starting to run. As long as Bitcoin's not at all-time new highs, these aren't going to lead the way. Total index, 2.04. Same type of thing. This big shakeout move last week Still needs, you need to break out above that candle, which is 2.15. I'm happy to sit and do nothing until I see some other things develop. We're going to talk about that on Wednesday. Yeah. I guess. A couple others. Where is, sorry, hold on. What was it? Couple others. You guys had something. Yeah, I can go to Mara. I can look at some of those. We haven't covered that in a little while. Yep. Yeah, I'll look at Mara. We'll circle back into the stocks. Just trying to get the update. Mara. Back down. Where's the daily? Daily dot today with the shark. First pattern we've seen since this. And you have a dot. So, okay. Today's day one on Mara for that type 2 shark. Shark to 5-0, guys. That's what it did on the first one. Now you have dot confirmation. A little bit better. 15 bucks. I like it. I like that. That's probably worth the shot, but today's day one. Literally. You almost need to wait. You do need to wait for today's close. And then tomorrow would be day one. Back at 1520. There's the zone. Okay, dot. Let's do the Tuesday in terms of HSI. Really run through the why the dot is there. But that's your second green bar. I like that. What about Coinbase? Haven't looked at that. Coinbase. Yeah, it did have another shark. Weekly oversold yet? No, we're still wrestling with the ugly bat pattern. Boy, nothing there. Another one needs to get above the 50 level. What about MicroStrategy? Because they split. That's some red action. Oh, what are we doing here? We got oversold a few days ago, and it's another shark beyond 5-0. But last dot is bearish at 172. You're looking for 141. You got 104. But let's let that. It still needs to retest. I would expect more consolidation in that area. Really, since that dot is nothing to be offered. The shark, it's a T2 shark. It did the 1-2. What about 4 hour? Yeah, maybe 4 hours showing the same pattern. But at least this might be it for the reaction. No, I'm all about Bitcoin. I'm almost ready to say Bitcoin maximalist across the board. Like if Bitcoin's going to run, the rest of it will chase what Bitcoin does. And unless Bitcoin's going to do anything, that needs to happen. Been back and forth on this. It's been a hell of a run, but look, monthly is like that. And monthly on MicroStrategy here, you're poking under the 50 level. So I can't expect much here yet. And that's the same story. There's the weekly. It's the same thing with Bitcoin, okay? We need to see some fireworks there before these can resume and do more to the upside. It's nice progress, but it for now is since the last weekly dot 165. Yeah, let me take a peek at NASDAQ really quick. I do need to talk about gold, guys. There's an NQ still up there. 950, 19,540. What about today? Oh, geez, we're getting another oversold. Look at that high level oversold HSI. Guys, that's going higher. For NQ, we gotta talk about this possibility. Talk about the type. Look, we have an hourly dot here, but that's not official. We got 3 more minutes. Let's see what happens. Where's the open on this hour? 19,566. So that might go in 3 minutes. Let's see if that kicks in 3 minutes, because we could go as high as 950 to hit T2 off of the crab before this stops. And this is RTH, regular trading hours. And I've been kind of making that distinction for intraday, that's probably where you're going to get your clearest patterns, most relevant, actionable levels. Yes, we can look at extended hours, but the regular trading hours have been super strong levels. Just to make that note. Well, again, talk about that Tuesday. Let me go to gold. Gold, 2,500. I mean, it's just like so many things happen while I was away. No, not that. Let's get to gold futures. 24.92. 24.92. There's your daily chart. So where's the opportunity on gold? Are we ever going to get a pullback? I mean, I was saying maybe 22.50, 23.50, and it is a stubborn SOB or SOG, because it looks like to me that not only the weekly has failed, like the possibility for that dot a couple of 6-8 weeks ago yielding anything, it's almost like a bypass move. And here you go again. This is something I've been saying with HSI. What's the direction of HSI and where is it going? It's up above the 50 level here. We were under the 50 up until early June, turned back above it. What was it? About a month ago, we really started cracking back above. I've been saying this all year. I am super impressed with gold in a way that I have never seen in my career. In areas where it should be finding resistance, it's just on a railroad track. You know, this is not stopping. And I'm thinking 2,500 is not a number. You know, gold's probably more like 28 to 3,000, and you know, that could happen. We get certain people elected in November. Yeah, that's probably what's going on. Here's GLD. Okay, look at this. GLD is a perfect type 2 bat pattern. But what happened? Reaction, there's a dot, 228. Reaction to T1, 219. Turn on a dime. You did your 1-2. Look, if we crack this hop level and say strong move up above 229, 230, then this is just a temporary pattern that, you know, then you're looking at a move up to say 250 now. And I think it's more like this. Look at that monthly. Oh, sorry. Why did that just took off again? Hold on. Did you guys see that pattern? It's a weekly. That wants the hop at 240 right now. So it's probably a layup. You break 228, you're going to go straight to 240. And that weekly crab, it might even be challenged to break out above 240. I'm beyond impressed. What would be the the crazy move is not only an overspill of the 1618, like there at 240, but it's more like this with gold. I do think gold has got this extreme nature to it, and that's the framework in action. Like you take out, look, you go to, it's an obvious 1618, okay, and that's, we've argued that we're almost there. 1618 is like 235, 240, but that's how we line up the framework of possibilities. Because if this is not just a 1618, then it's a more extreme continuation where it becomes a 2618 into 314. That's 320. And again, this is, it's an unusual acceleration. This is the gold bug move. Always, the old timers always said gold's going to 5,000. Gold's going to 5,000. I mean, a lot of those folks have passed away. You know, instead of taking 5 or 10 years, it took 30. But, they've always said that in the same way, like before they were saying Bitcoin, whatever, Bitcoin to $1 million, or it's like saying Bitcoin to $1 million. It really is. It gold to 5,000 when it was 500, it was like Bitcoin to $1 million. But not in 3 to 5 years, but for gold took 30. 25. I'll show you something, though, I posted yesterday on X, SLV. Matt, look at that monthly chart, but look at the daily. Daily's like this. Beautiful Gartley. And back-to-back patterns. So, 25 bucks for silver, SLV, really nice. T1, T2, already done. But SLV, come on back into the zone, if not do something more. Because you saw that monthly chart. That's relative to this whole deal. And you're still, you never came back for the full type 2. That, had we done this and then back to 13, I would say definitely the 34. What happened was we went up and counter HSI, but you're still on the trend line. Silver will continue more slowly than gold, but it's going to continue, I think, 34 for SLV. And that is, that runs parallel to the futures price. But that's, big patterns there. This is what? That was 2020. But SLV in sympathy with gold, that just keeps on going. Yeah. Let's go IWM. Daniel, it's a good spot to finish up on. So Russell, continuing within that trend. Okay, we're at the 786. And did we get the 38? We got a 382. So that is the C point. Russell wants to go. Why? It's, yeah, return phase off of the deep crab. Yeah, guys, I think this is begging to be retested, another one, because if we understand that the type 1 reaction is supposed to be a throwdown move, it's supposed to do that. Like hit the numbers, go to T1 in an aggressive fashion, and then trigger an an extreme reading like that. I think we can argue it did that. We didn't need to jump right in it, wait for a green candle, 1, 2, 3 bar breakout happened. That was Tuesday. And now follow through, I think 224. Go and return that. Which is bullish for the market. And we're getting that in the same for the Dow Industrials. So you're 213 right now. Yeah. Probably going to have to face some kind of September reckoning retest. And they're going to run it up into those September retest highs, and then we're going to have to face, the big situation. Well, my guess, I mean, I'm flipping a coin on November. Flipping a coin on November. I am really. It's kind of like 2016 in terms of, not having that clarity. TLT for Mitch. Well, it's probably more about those rate charts. I mean, I know this is the ETF. Here you have that crab pattern on the daily. Weeklies like this. TLT. I thought TLT was actually a massive monthly pattern. Hold on. Because there are super long-term. I mean, that looks, talk about development, right, man? This has got some juice. At least you have this type of thing. We're on the downtrend move. Okay, can we break that out? We have a couple of big monthly dots where you're trying to fish for stabilization. Yeah, it's not the prettiest, but some back-to-back. I think the yield chart is probably the one to look at, Mitch. There is a T2 deep crab at 89 bucks from May. And now maybe we get something like this. And this is when this goes up when yields go down. But maybe we have the T1 and then go back up. That's the 20-year yield. I've been looking at the 2-year chart like here. And because of this kind of thing. So the 2-year yield daily structure, that was a type 2. And we should see this drop in yields. Look, daily dot came in on the 2-year yield, again, when I was traveling, and with a perfect check back. That's significant. And I think yields should drop from here, which means the TLT goes back up. The 2-year, in terms of rates, that's a chart where I've been talking about this drop down for a long time. Remember the shark at 480? And we had the hop all the way back at 390. It did the move. And if we go even deeper, the weekly here, these are all from way back when. We've been looking at this assessment of the 2-year yield being 5% as a big 1618, and then back to 382 at like 315. So we haven't even gotten to the 382 minimum. But I do find it interesting that chart had a whole bunch of pattern signals. This was a bat at 530, or really 490 with the hop at 530. So a lot of pattern action. I would want to see a dot, but I still say yields are going to drag. The 10-year yield, which probably closer to the TLT chart, it did what we thought it would do. I mean, the yields topped out, and there's a 10-year. Couple of back-to-backs, but the bat pattern was like 460. Long term, yeah, long term's like that. Critical lower high. I mean, is that the exhaustion peak and that's the lower high? What do you think? Because then, if rates are really going to drop off here, I think they will. It's kind of like this. Still need to look for something like that. Lower high, and then where can we go? 382 to like 3%, or even, dare I say, maybe like 50% retracement on yields. I've always been of the opinion that like 3% is where we kind of come back down there. Can you do that tonight on your stream? I don't know I don't know how to do that, Dragon. It's I think you said before it's kind of like a shark or something. I'm this is working out. It's just where is the yield drop going to be? And I do think yields get back to 3% on this move. The next, let's call it by January, end of January. End of January, yields are not 390. They're like 3 something or lower. You know, maybe they're up here. But that yield move has begun. Yeah, Carthago, that is head and shoulders there. I can trace it out, but whatever this yield search was, it's done. And what about, before I go, crude oil? Haven't even looked at that in a while. Crude oil futures weekly. What do you think, Mitch? There's a T2 on the weekly. That's, ooh, look at that. Weekly dot. This thing is moving in slow motion, but crude oil is very interesting. Right here on that latest retest, has to hold 73, 74. I've been looking at those stocks. You know, Chevron, really quick, CVX, big pattern down here on the daily. Right here. A really nice butterfly on Chevron. So maybe that crude oil market's not done. And you're printing stuff like this where, you know, Chevron is what it is. You know, it hasn't done much the last 2 years because you had this massive monthly pattern here. See these patterns on Chevron? Huge. But you're starting to get past or challenge that 30 bar limit. Go back here. Where's 30 months? 30 months is next month, guys, on Chevron. And that could start to lose its luster. And it is still a reaction monthly. Daily pattern is, I'm interested here. I think I find that that's an interesting sleeper situation with crude oil. That would be almost counter to what people are thinking with that big, you know, big daily. There's a daily type 2 on the bat. Weekly is better. Crude futures, yeah. I will be probably following this a lot more than I have this year. I know we were waiting for that T2 forever with the dot, and now, you know, not a heck of a lot, but it's definitely holding up. The markets are interesting, and then, you know, refiners, things like ConocoPhillips, had a nice little correction, but where's the pattern? I had a big pattern here on COP. Maybe it's Valero. VLO. The refiners have given us a pullback that is worthy of anticipating another opportunity. Maybe was it MPC? It was one of the big refiners. Yeah, MPC. Nice pullback within that long-term uptrend. It escapes me which one, but I do think there's opportunity in those refiners. Yeah, because look at that weekly channel. That won't stop. And look at all the, look, arrows and dots and da-da-da. I'm really trying to simplify those signals for you guys, especially longer term traders. Like, where's the opportunity here? Well, there's an HSI counter. There's a whole bunch of stuff. That's massive trend continuation possibility. Where can it go? Go back, retest the high. You're 180. Go back to the top end of the channel, 210, 220. That's how big that is. Probably need to focus on it. I forget what the pattern was that I had. It might have been Valero. I don't want to search around for it. Look, I'll come back on Tuesday. Yeah, Valero, I love those too. Again, those are, I don't care what anyone wants to do with crude oil. You're still going to need people to process it. I had some time with my good friend who's just a king of natural gas. And he's telling me it's all-time volumes. And it's not slowing down. And a lot of it's international. And that's who these guys are selling to. So, look, what happened in the last 2 weeks was a phenomenal thing. What happened in NASDAQ, QQQ, SPY, okay, it was perfect harmonic action right at the time to take off. Here we go. Just let's consider this counter HSI that happened, or is happening probably by tomorrow. This could really push this thing higher. It was a dramatic 20-day event. And I'm looking at SPY probably more than anything else because of this immediate crab pattern. I mean, this is for the year. You just look at what this action, going back from March, big 1618 overspill. Now this is the big test. But you're 2 or 3 days away from this in terms of confirmation, much like we were back here, where we hit T1, but then confirmation was 10 days later, run to the hop, and then go down. Why? Because, well, there's T1, but look, the 50 level on HSI came 6 days later. That's what you should be looking for before this T2 will even do anything. So, look, by next week, we should hit it and have the inflection, and then by the end of the month, go under the 50 if we're going to get the type 2. It's early. It's early on this. I'll come back on Tuesday. We're going to talk HSI. Am I trading crypto? No. I'm holding crypto. I'm not trading crypto. And I'm thinking about what I'm going to do in terms of going forward, if I'm going to focus mostly on Bitcoin or not, because I think a lot of the T coins that I want to get into, like I find myself removing those one by one. But that's why we're doing the webinar on Wednesday. All right. You guys want to get with me, get over to harmonictrader.com, become a basic member, get the software there, send your trading username to hpc@sr-analyst.com, and then get on our Discord. You can email me at harmonictrader@gmail.com to get in on Wednesday. All right. Any other questions? Well, let's get to them Tuesday. All right. I'm playing catch up today. We'll get it. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. Until next time, Tuesday, 12 noon. Go get it.